Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Presidential D&D Campaign, where AI-voiced U.S. presidents play Dungeons & Dragons with me, Ben Shapiro, your AI Dungeon Master.
Thanks for having us back, Ben.
So, I was thinking over the weekend and I had kind of forgotten about my sword getting melted at the castle when I bought the new magic sword last session. I do still want to buy the sword, but could I sell my other one? Make back some of the money I spent.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that. First, though, Obama, would you mind giving us a recap?
Of course, Ben. Last session we made it to Mantira Bay and already had a close encounter with the Night Watchers, or maybe they were just regular guards, when Donatello assaulted an old fisherman named Nigel. Donatello was able to talk the guards out of killing him, but placed us solely in the Night Watchers' line of sight. We then tested out Dr. Necrotech's grave transit system again and asked him if he would know of an artifact that would capture or destroy souls, but he said it would take a few days. Finally, we went shopping for the first time in the adventure. I have a new staff, Donatello got a new sword, and Joden got some new armor. If any of this sounds unfamiliar, you might have missed one of our previous episodes, which can be found here. Also, if you missed the Arena one-shot we did over the weekend, where the party was able to fight some of the people from the adventure so far, it can be found here.
Thanks, Obama. Sorry, that was a pretty long one.
It's okay, I don't mind.
Yeah, he likes to hear himself talk. Now, to matters at hand. Can I sell my old sword to Zephyr Pebblefoot? I think that was the name of the magical artifact merchant we bought all of our stuff from.
Yeah, that was him. He takes a long look at your sword, murmuring an incantation over the melted side of it. Interesting weapon you have here. I don't know how much I would be able to get for it. Most people will see the deformed blade and pass it over. But it is magical, at least that side of it. Very well, I can offer you 50 shadow shards for it.
That's it? It's worth at least 100.
Perhaps. That is what I will try to sell it for. But it's a risky item for me to take and try to sell. There is a good chance it just sits on the shelf for years. I'm afraid I can't go above 55.
All right, very well. At least that makes some of my money back. What about this gold teapot?
As you reach into your bag for the teapot, you actually can't find it.
What the hell? Did one of you two take it?
No, you were very clear that you wanted to hang on to it.
Well, I don't have it now. It's nowhere to be found in my bag, Ben?
Nope. Just your gold coins and traveling essentials. Then also the magical small bag of holding that Thorn gave you for holding shadow shards.
Did you lose it somewhere?
Well, I guess so. That's dumb, but it wasn't worth much anyways.
Hey Zephyr, would you happen to have any items that could say, I don't know, capture someone's soul?
Zephyr's eyebrow raises slightly. No, that would be contraband in the city. That's a dangerous request.
Okay, no matter. Thought that we would check.
Very well. No harm in asking, I suppose. He reaches back behind a shelf. Before I forget, you really should have some shadow slick for cleaning the staff. I think I have a small bottle back here. He rummages around for a second before producing a small black vial. Nasty stuff. Don't get it on your hands for sure. He passed it over to you and passes a small piece of paper as well. If you do, well, you didn't get it from me. Then he turns and begins talking to a nearby vendor about how crazy the new Vallaki burgomaster is.
What's the paper say?
I don't know, what does it say, Ben?
You open it up, taking care to do so covertly. Inside, in hastily scribbled handwriting, you read, "The Nautical Bazaar aboard the Mistweaver. Tonight after dark."
Interesting. What's the Mistweaver? Is that one of the boats?
Yes, you see the larger of the boats in the harbor has the name scratched on the side, barnacles clinging to its hull. The figurehead, a cloaked figure with an orb in its hands, leans out towards the city ominously. A few merchants and sailors move around on board, and a group of guards stand watch, investigating all boxes that are unloaded.
Well, we can get past them easy enough. How long until it is dark, Ben?
To be honest, I think we kind of skipped a night, but we will say it is late in the afternoon. The mist-covered sun hangs low above the distant horizon. You probably have another hour or so until the sun is set completely. Is there anything else you want to do in the city, or do you want to wait until you are climbing aboard tonight?
I'm good to wait until we are going aboard. We already did our shopping unless there was anything else anyone needed.
I think I'm good too. Should we make a plan for how we are going to get on the boat? If the guards are watching, it won't be easy to slip on board.
We could use your magic to make us invisible and then you could misty step. I think there is a simpler way though. We should just bribe the guards.
Think they would go for that?
I think so. I don't think the Night Watchers would take the moral high ground. Besides, I bet they get a cut of whatever happens in the underground black market thing, the Nautical Bazaar or whatever.
All right, I'm down to try it. Worst comes to worst, and maybe we do meet the leader of the Night Watchers sooner than we anticipated. Should we each pitch in maybe 5 shadow shards? I'll cover the rest if they need more.
Oh yeah, so that all of our viewers can call me a greedy bastard? No, I'll pay whatever it costs. If anyone is going to be the fan favorite, it's going to be me.
All right, I'm fine with that. You sure you don't want us to pitch anything in?
Yeah, I'm sure. Though depending on the cost of the artifact, we might all need to contribute for that. I'm betting that an artifact that can destroy or capture someone's souls carries a hefty price tag.
I would guess so as well. All right, that all sounds like a plan then.
Yeah, that's some good planning. Very well, the sun sets and darkness begins to press in. The mists thicken, more rolling in from the ocean in front of you, obscuring your vision to only a few feet. You can hear people and things moving in the dark, but can't see much. As you make your way across the docks and approach the guards, you see a tall gentleman handing a small pouch to the guards. "Thank you for your watch," he says as he steps past them boarding the ship.
All right, I am going to approach the guards and pass them a small pouch of 20 shadow shards. Then I'll say the same thing. Thank you for your watch, and move to board the ship.
The guard hefts the bag, looking quite surprised. "Of course, my lord."
Damn it, I probably only needed to give him like 5 or something.
Better safe than sorry, I guess.
Yeah, it would have been awkward if he had stopped us. I am not familiar with the etiquette for a secret underground market.
Yeah, though since we were so generous, he'll be able to remember us. This must be a profitable guard position. I wonder if they're all night watchers.
They are keeping watch at night. I think it's safe to say they are.
Can we follow the guy who was in front of us, Ben?
Yeah, you follow him down into the ship, where you can now hear a lot of people talking and murmuring under their breath. The man walks down a long hallway, and the door at the end opens. "Hello? Welcome to the Nautical Bazaar," a servant says, holding the door open. "Please, feel free to look around and talk to any of the vendors. If you have any weapons, please keep them sheathed. Peace is enforced here for the safety of all of our customers, of course."
Thank goodness. If he was going to try to take my sword, he was going to have a fight on his hands.
Something tells me that we would probably lose that fight. Who knows what this place is, or how many guards and magical protections are in place. Besides, if someone is just casually selling a soul destroyer, they could have anything up their sleeves.
Through the door, it feels a lot like the marketplace on land did, only more crowded. It seems people from all over Darken have come to the Nautical Bazaar. There are a lot more strange items, and a lot more weapons and armors. You see a displacer beast, bound with enchanted iron and steel chains in a cage. Another vendor has a wide selection of poisons, all with labels saying that they even work on undead. Finally, you spot 2 different familiar figures. Dr. Necrotech talking with a short Duergar vendor with a large assortment of plants, and Zephyr Pebblefoot manning his own stall with many of the same items you had seen above. You actually see him passing off Donatello's sword in exchange for a pouch of shadow shards.
Damn it, he sold it the same day. I bet I could have gotten more for it.
Where would you like to go first? There is also an area off to the side where an announcer is leading an auction. That is where the man you followed went to after entering the room.
Well, I think Zephyr will have more information on if there is an artifact capable of those things here, but also maybe the doctor has made some progress or has some ideas on it as well, since we talked to him a couple of hours ago.
I think we should talk with Zephyr first, probably. I'm not that surprised to find Dr. Necrotech here. This feels like his type of thing.
We barely even know him, but yeah, I also am not surprised he is here. I kind of want to go over to the auction area, mostly because I am not sure why Ben specifically pointed out the guy that we followed in here. I thought he would just be another patron, but maybe he is someone important.
That's definitely metagaming, though. I think we should go talk to Zephyr, too. Maybe he'll give us some pointers.
Fine, but after that, let's head to the auction area. Ben, I want to keep an eye on the guy we followed. Does he have a name?
Not that you know. All right, as you approach Zephyr's stand, he looks up with a smile. "Hello again, my friends. Glad you found the bazaar all right. I haven't seen you around here before. Are you in town for the bazaar specifically, or what brings you to Mantira Bay? Those night watchers are pretty brutal here, you know."
Yeah, we just came up from Ilaluk for the bazaar. We are looking for that item we talked about earlier. Figured this would be the place to find it.
He raises an eyebrow and then nods. Agreed. Now, you are looking for an item to destroy someone's soul, huh? That is dangerous stuff in Darkon, you know. Most people are pretty attached to their souls when it makes them immortal.
You aren't from Darken, though, right? You came here with the Shadow Shippers?
Yes, that's right. I am from a small village outside Neverwinter. My family kicked me out, and I found a new one on board the Mistweaver. It's a rough crowd, but we look after our own. Anyways, for the item. I happen to have something that can capture a soul. It's a tricky piece of magic, let me tell you. Much harder to come by than most things I have. Took it from an ancient lich down in Barovia.
And of course, therefore, the price is high. How much?
Unfortunately, it's not for sale. It is up for trade, though.
What would you accept as a trade?
Information. There is a blind oracle not far from here. Supposedly, he was lost in the Feywild for years, until a Fey lady blessed him immense knowledge and with the ability to see the future. Then he found his way here to Darken, apparently. Not too far from here, I'm sure if you hurried, you could make it back before we leave port in 3 days.
And what information are you after?
The location of my real family. I tried to head back there to mend some bridges, but they had moved on long before. I would give you the artifact in exchange for finding out where they are.
Straightforward enough. All right, where is this blind oracle?
If you head down the coast, you'll find a small cove about 25 miles south. There is a cave there, and the oracle is in the cave. It would be simple enough if Darkin wasn't, well, Darkin.
Very well, we'll go talk to the oracle. He could probably help us too.
Anything else you want to ask Zephyr, or do you want to leave the ship, or you could also go to the auction area or talk to Dr. Necrotech?
All right, we can head over to the auction area.
Yeah, we can go there. I'm itching for some combat though, Ben. You said there would be more combat this season, and we haven't fought anyone. Sure, the arena session helped tide me over a bit since I pretty much single-handedly won the whole thing, but there's been a lot of talking here.
I do think that city adventures typically run a lot more role-playing than combat. At least that has been my experience thus far. Don't worry though, you'll have plenty of combat this season. All right, you head over to the auction area and see a metal automaton come up for bidding. The auctioneer starts off the bidding at 500 shadow shards, and there is a short bidding war, 550 from a woman in an emerald dress, 600 from a dwarf near the rear, 625 from a Arakocra standing off to the side. Then the man you followed in raises his hand, 626. There is silence, and then the auctioneer slams his gavel down. Sold to Marcus Nightshade then.
Well, we have his name now. Who has he been?
You don't know. However, everyone stopped bidding as soon as he bid, even though fully functional metal automatons like that can go for as much as 3,000 gold pieces, especially one as well formed as the one being sold. They can serve as a servant for hundreds of years and are deft fighters as well.
Someone important then. Should we ask the doctor?
That's a good idea.
You turn to find yourself face to face with the doctor himself. Yes, I thought that was you three. You've traveled a long ways in such a short time. Did you use the Grave Transit System? How was the last test run? Does it work properly now?
No, sorry, Doctor. The feral you sent through teleported right into the middle of a tombstone, splitting it in half. Can I ask why graveyards? Couldn't you just choose a more level and controlled environment?
Well, graveyards are the controlled environment you see. Nobody is ever in them, except for maybe the cleaners. And they are large enough that you shouldn't have to worry about two people teleporting into each other. The gravestones do present an interesting predicament. I'll have to think of something to avoid them. Can't be having all my users just be getting rebooted all the time. Let's just try it again then. Let me know next time you are in a graveyard.
Well, in the meantime, who is that guy? Marcus Nightshade or whatever his name was?
Ah, yes, Marcus. I do a lot of business with him. He is Baron Metis's right-hand man. He runs most of the day-to-day operations of the Night Watchers.
Interesting. So he's like royalty here?
Sort of, I suppose. Though that is a funny way to put it. This little event is allowed by the Night Watchers to keep an eye on more suspicious residents. Since the Baron allows the Nautical Bazaar to operate, Night Watchers get really good deals when they bid on items. They don't bid often, though, so it isn't a real problem. Besides, would you bid against someone who would probably kill you for it? Granted, Darken residents would just reform a few days later, but it's not a fun process to lose everything you are. Property rights are a joke here.
Yeah, I can imagine. Someone dies but comes back without their memories, it'd be pretty easy for someone else to claim ownership of a house. And even if that person did still own it, do they really if they have no recollection of it? They are pretty much just a new person.
Indeed, that is what has been the best way to run things. If someone dies, or worse yet, goes feral, then their property is sold to the highest bidder unless there is a clear line of inheritance. That latter part was used a lot more just after the eclipse. Nowadays, there is not really such a thing as inheritance, I suppose. Most people could be standing next to their brother and not know it.
You sure know a lot about Darken for someone who isn't from here.
Ah, the ambassador filled you in on my history then? Yes, I'm not from Darken. I found my way here about 1,000 years ago, though. I like it. It provides me with lots of things to study and bide my time with.
How are you over 1,000 years old? Thorn said you are new here, and shouldn't you be dead?
There are plenty of ways to postpone death. Though I'm not immortal, not like the undead. I'll die someday, I suppose. And if nothing has changed for 2,000 years, I suppose I am the newest resident of note.
Sounds reasonable enough. Now, any progress on something to destroy souls?
Well, a bit. I might have something ready in a week or so. It'll take me quite a bit of time. It's something I haven't studied before, so I must thank you for that.
Sure thing.
Well, guys, I think we should end the session there. We will pick up next session, finishing up with the Nautical Bazaar, and then heading south to meet with the Blind Oracle.
That sounds good. For next session, I think that we should find out a way to ambush and knock out that Marcus guy, and then use those eyeball things that we bought from Dr. Necrotech to spy on the Baron. Necrotech said that if the victim is unconscious, they would never even know that you had stolen their eyes and implanted the spy device.
That's actually a really good plan. It'd help us get an inside look at the base of operations. It's risky, though. I don't know how we are going to knock him out without him knowing it was us.
What if you turned us invisible and we can both hit him at the same time? That should knock him out, right?
That seems as good a plan as any.
All right, let's think it over and give it a try next session then. To our viewers, if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe to help out the channel. We really appreciate all of the support and hope to be able to continue providing quality content.
Thanks for joining, everyone. We will see you all tomorrow.